As we start our first general session meeting of this year's annual meeting, we have already experienced a day packed full with numerous activities. We've enjoyed a full schedule of meetings, and certainly our commodity luncheon was a great success. Many really enjoyed our speaker today. I hope that you've also had a chance to browse through our trade show and took the opportunity to learn from our exhibitors. Kentucky Farm Bureau insurance companies have hosted a wonderful hospitality area this morning and this afternoon, and hope that many of you were able to stop by and enjoy that experience. Our country store has returned this year, providing high-quality gifts and apparel featuring the Kentucky Farm Bureau logo. The country store is a great place to do some Christmas shopping, so take advantage of that. Again, tomorrow they'll be out in the hallway and stop by and look at some of the merchandise, and I know you'll be interested in that. And now on to our program. The first segment of the program tonight is our Outstanding Farm Bureau Youth Competition, sponsored by AT&T. Farm Bureau has a rich tradition of investing in our youth throughout the Commonwealth. A sure sign of investment has been the development of activities like the one you're about to enjoy tonight. AT&T now joins our efforts to support the bright future of our youth and their many talents. We welcome their partnership in rewarding these young folks here tonight. This competition provides a forum for developing the leadership skills of our young people. The contest has already been underway for several weeks now, both at the county and district levels. So what you're about to witness tonight is the culmination of all this. That's the state finals. Now, to conduct our Outstanding Farm Bureau Youth Contest, it is my pleasure to introduce Vicki Bryant of Monroe County, Second Vice Chair of the State Women's Advisory Committee, and the current District Chair of District 4. Welcome, Vicki, to the podium, please, for tonight's MC.
Thank you, Mr. Haney. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time it is my pleasure to present to you the 2012 contestants for the Outstanding Farm Bureau Youth State Contest. Thank you. Contestants, you may be seated. Before the contest gets underway, I'd like to briefly describe the rules and procedures for this competition. Earlier this afternoon, the contestants had personal interviews with judges, which will account for 50% of their scores tonight. On stage tonight, the contestants will deliver a 2-minute prepared speech on agriculture or a Farm Bureau-related topic. This speech will make up the remaining 50% of the total score for each contestant. We are fortunate to have with us our 2011 OFBY state winners, and they are Jonelle Futrell of Davis County and Corbin Wilson of McLean County. Jonelle is attending the University of Kentucky as an honors program student, and Corbin is a senior at McLean County High School. As you might imagine, both of these individuals are very busy, so we are really happy to have them take part in our event here tonight. At this time, I want to invite Jonelle and Corbin to share a few remarks regarding their experience as Kentucky's Outstanding Farm Bureau Youth for this past year.
I'm Jonelle Futrell, and I'm extremely excited to be able to have this experience to speak with you all this evening. And as I was driving from Lexington at UK to Louisville this afternoon, the first memory about this contest that came to mind was one that happened just a few moments before right now last year. And I was in my hotel room getting ready, and I decided that I wanted to run through my speech just one more time. So I grabbed my microphone, hairbrush, and was getting ready, and as soon as I was about a minute through this, I wanted to get pumped up and ready to go on stage like these 22 individuals. So I threw some dance moves in there, and I threw my hairbrush into the air, and it came down and hit me right in the face. I I didn't think it was a big deal. It hurt a little bit, but I gathered my things and was heading out the door. But when I did that, I glanced to my right, and in the mirror, I saw a little bit of blood running down the side of my face. I said, oh my gosh, this is not the most hurtful accident I've ever been in, but it has the worst timing. So my first response was to yell for my mom, but my mom was not in the hotel. So I decided to just put a little bit of extra makeup on there and head downstairs. As soon as this process began, I had understood the importance of flexibility. And that theme ran through the entire process of this past year. When I was in Washington, D.C. and got lost on the metro system, or whenever I was speaking with a professor yesterday, trying to arrange a review session that I was going to miss being here to speak with you all tonight. I know how important it is in life and also in agriculture to be flexible. You all, as producers and promoters of agriculture, understand in your daily work that if you're a dairy farmer, changing your schedule to get up at 4:45 and milk, or if you're a beef farmer, getting up at 2 a.m. to go pull a calf, those are lifestyle changes. You have to be a flexible individual. And on a bigger scale, approaching the global marketplace and figuring out that new technology that you need to take advantage of. Something that doesn't end here. It's going to carry you all on throughout the remainder of your lives. And I'm extremely excited about the Farm Bureau's passion to be big on commitment, and that they are committed to teaching these young people, just like myself and Corbin, about the importance of leadership skills, of communication and employability skills, and also about being flexible. So thank you all for this opportunity, and I've had such a great experience this year. It's definitely been a blast.
One of the things that we get to do as the winners of the previous year's contest is that we get to go into the waiting room with this year's contestants, and we get to just talk with them and, keep them loose kind of and let them know how the process works. And as I was sitting there talking to a few of them today, it brought me back to last year when I was in the contest, and I just got to thinking about it, and I remembered how I was acting right before the speech. I couldn't eat. I was just sweating. I put on my suit an hour early and just sat down in the lobby of the Galt House and just paced back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and just mumbling my speech to myself. Got some pretty crazy looks. I'm pretty sure people thought I was crazy, just walking back and forth, talking to myself. But even through all the nervousness and anticipation that went along with this contest, I'm so glad and thankful that I got into it and was a part of it, because through this contest I've had the opportunity to do some pretty incredible things that I wouldn't have the opportunity to otherwise. One of the things that we got to do was the congressional tour, and that was just amazing. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me to just get to go meet our legislators and see their opinions and hear their opinions on all the ag-related issues that we have facing our country today. And that was just amazing opportunity. And then we got to go to the state fair, and all the things that we got to do there were just amazing. And I was so glad that I had the opportunity to do this. And I would just like to take a moment to specifically thank Ms. Judy Hayden and Scott Christmas for all the wonderful help that they were to both Jonelle and I throughout this process. And I would like to thank the Farm Bureau for giving us this opportunity, to all these wonderful opportunities that we had. Thank you.
Thank you both for representing Farm Bureau so well in 2011. And now we will begin the speeches for the 2012 competition. And we're going to start with the young ladies tonight. Tonight's first female contestant is Brittany Catherine Osborne from McCracken County in District 1.
I could stand before you today and talk about the new technological advances in agriculture, or how the depressed economy has had on our economy. However, I would like to take a more personal approach. Kentucky. One word, when said alone, gives only a location. Kentucky agriculture, two words that have the power to preserve life by feeding millions. Kentucky Farm Bureau, three words, when said in unison, have a meaning, a voice, a purpose. Recently, I was given the opportunity through 4-H to perform at the Kentucky State Fair, and during my visit, I was constantly in the West Wing, which hosts the 4-H and FFA livestock judging. Walking around, it was amazing to me to see how much pride was radiating from the families, and then it hit me. My family's roots belong to the state of Kentucky, and I had never been more proud to call myself a Kentucky farm girl. I realized then that the future in agriculture lies in the hands of the younger generations that need the leadership, guidance, and support of Kentucky Farm Bureau in order to carry on. It's kind of like the silly bands kids are wearing. At first, it was just a cool bracelet, and now it has become a worldwide craze. As a member of 4-H and FFA, I believe it is up to the members of Farm Bureau to get the youth of Kentucky crazy about agriculture and, most importantly, be our partner in progress. Through leadership programs such as IFAL, OFBY, LEAD, variety shows, and scholarships, Farm Bureau continues to educate by identifying problems and developing solutions in order to enhance the quality of life for all and mold our youth, creating a lifelong love of Kentucky agriculture. You have begun the spark, now let's help the flame ignite. Farm Bureau may be the voice of agriculture, but the youth are the voice of tomorrow. Farm Bureau members, I encourage you to continue to make the voice of the future brighter for the youth of Kentucky. Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany. Next, we'll have female contestant number 2, J.C. Luann Gill from Caldwell County in District 2.
A few weeks ago, while at the Kentucky State Fair, I saw a shirt that said, "Where would you be without agriculture?" The answer, naked and hungry. At first, I laughed. It was a cute shirt, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized that a huge part of my life, and probably yours, depends on agriculture. Food, fiber, and even fuel are major products of the agriculture industry that we all rely on. It's pretty difficult to name something that doesn't somehow trace back to a farmer. Without the dedication of the American farmer, do you realize what we would miss out on? From the straw in the cowboy's hat, to the leather in your work boots, down to the cotton in my favorite sweatshirt, or the local Chinese buffet, grilling on the back porch, or a fresh bag of popcorn at Friday night's game. Farmers work hard every day to keep Americans clothed and fed cheaper than any other country. How cheap, you ask? It may be hard to believe, especially while checking out at the local grocery store, but the average American family only spends 10% of their income on food. In an effort to drive this point home, Farm Bureau hosted National Food Checkout Day, which highlights the affordability of the American food supply. Developing cheaper, greener, renewable fuels is another major issue facing agriculture. And just like always, the American farmer isn't backing down from this challenge. Ethanol and biodiesel are common anymore in our society. Once again, who do we thank? The agriculture industry. So, what I first saw as just a cute t-shirt really is a lesson that everyone should learn. The American farmer provides us with affordable clothing, nutritious foods, and alternative fuels as a part of their daily routine. Thank you.
Thank you, J.C. Our next female contestant will be Chelsea Renee Darty from Butler County in District 3.
A few days ago, I was flipping through a National FFA catalog when I came across a t-shirt that caught my eye. On the front, it read, "Where would you be without American agriculture?" And on the back was the cunning response, "Naked and hungry." Now, I laughed about this for a couple moments, but then I started to realize the truth behind its words. Where would we be without agriculture? Have you ever considered how much food is consumed by the average American family every year? Statistics show that on average, the American person consumes 584 pounds of dairy products every year, not to mention the meats, fruits, vegetables, and grains also consumed. If it wasn't for the hardworking farmers who day in and day out tend to their crops, our nation would not have the nutrition that it needs to survive. So where would we be without agriculture? Most certainly, hungry. Every morning, you wake up and go to your closet. You have numerous amounts of clothes that you can choose from to wear. But what if one morning you woke up and there were no clothes in your closet? This is how life would be without agriculture. No cotton, no polyester, and even your favorite pair of jeans wouldn't exist. So, once again, where would we be without American agriculture? We would be hungry, cold, and dead. Maybe we should all go and buy one of those t-shirts to show the American people what agriculture is really doing for them.
Thank you, Chelsea. Our fourth female contestant is Stephanie Marie Mattingly, and Stephanie is from Barron County in District 4.
I believe in the future of agriculture, but I also believe that that future is only tangible if, as leaders of the agricultural industry, we work together to make our voices heard. The first step in speaking out is staying informed. You can do this by signing up for daily emails that will tell you all about what's new in agriculture. By doing this, if someone asks you about different industries, you can provide them with the most recent and accurate information. This enhances your reliability and helps to instill confidence in that person about the future of agriculture. Not only can you spread the word verbally, but also visually. By wearing Got Milk or I Heart Beef t-shirts, you're supporting those industries. You can also get license plates or window clings to put on your cars. Small things like this can make a large impact. People will see these things, and it will cause them to think more about the benefits of your agricultural commodity. The newest way to help support agriculture is through social networking sites, such as Facebook and Twitter. You can make posts about how you're harvesting your crops or caring for your animals. People that are your friends will see this, and it will make them feel more confident about the people who are running our industries. Because no longer are farmers strangers, but we are friends. Posts like these open the door for conversation and help to remove the feeling that we as an industry have anything to hide. Together, we can know, show, and share who we are as leaders of the agricultural industry. We can work together to reinstill confidence for farming and agriculture back into the hearts of all Americans, if only we work together and make our voices heard.
Thank you, Stephanie. From District 5, our fifth female contestant this evening is Emily Nicole Drury from Anderson County.
In agriculture, having family support and continuing traditions are what keeps the industry running like a tractor in the hayfield. There is no doubt in my mind that my agricultural life wouldn't exist without the continuation of my ancestors' agricultural traditions. For over 10 generations, farming has been a survival plan for my family, whether it be milking cows to raise a crop of tobacco or raising beef cattle to make a farm payment. Farming has kept my family, as well as myself, alive. A hard day's work of breaking horses, working cattle, or harvesting hay is a good refresher to my soul. The aches and pains that come about in working remind me of who I am and how I'm bred. The genes of hard work, passion, and determination are and forever will be inscribed into my DNA. It is my responsibility as a 10th generation farmer and my duty as an American citizen to live up to the standards in agriculture that my family has set. America runs on the agriculture founded by our past generations. Absolute failure in my eyes would be to watch the downfall of American agriculture. But because I'm a member of the great National FFA organization, I refuse to let that happen. As E.M. Tiffany says, I believe that American agriculture can and will hold true to the best traditions of our national life, and that I can exert an influence in my home and community which will stand solid for my part in that inspiring task. Therefore, the future of agriculture stems from traditions before me, but lies in my hands to grow and prosper.
Thank you, Emily. Next, from District 6, we have Mary Elizabeth Wood, and Mary is from Franklin County.
In the movie The Godfather, Michael Corleone makes the statement, "It's not personal, it's business." When it comes to the business of farming, it's not only personal to Kentucky's farming families, it's a way of life. And that way of life affects every single person in our Commonwealth. Yet, most people are woefully unaware of the many contributions farmers make to their way of life. And that lack of public awareness is one of the main issues facing Kentucky farmers today. The average person is ignorant of how a farmer's business intersects and affects their own way of life on a very personal level, be it nutritional, economical, or ecological. Another thing the average person doesn't know is that farmers, like countless other professionals, are more politically astute and involved than ever before. Business-savvy farmers network and form co-ops to make the most out of their efforts in the fields. Through organizations like Farm Bureau, they finance lobbyists in Frankfort and in Washington, D.C., to increase lawmakers' awareness of issues that directly affect the business of family farming. These issues include property laws to ensure the protection of croplands, estate taxes, and mandated government restrictions. After all, it's the family income that drives the economy. And then there's medical coverage for farmers and their families. To the farmer, these issues aren't just business, they're personal. The FFA Creed begins with the words, "I believe in the future of agriculture." When I speak or hear those words, I take it personally, and so do Kentucky's farming families who remain dedicated to their vocation. It's not just business, it's personal, and it's our way of life.
Thank you, Mary. Female contestant number 7 is Brittany Dawn Gaddis from Taylor County.
Growing up on a farm makes me realize how important agriculture is and how it affects my daily life. Not all children are this fortunate. From a very early age to the young adults that fill our high school hallways, it is crucial that all students receive instruction about agriculture. Agriculture is an important topic and should not only be taught to the small percentage of students going into an agricultural career. Agricultural literacy should be a building block in a solid educational foundation. The agricultural industry is the largest in the world, and in order to continue this trend, new generations of agriculturalists will need to step up and lead. They won't be able to do so without the basic understanding of agriculture. How can the majority of a nation's population lack the basic understanding of the industry which produces and distributes the food needed in order to satisfy the most basic of all human needs? Young children need to know that their food doesn't just come from their grocery store shelf. They need to understand that hard work and sweat goes into the apple that they eat every day at lunch. Adults need to understand how their uninformed decisions affect the agricultural industry. Obesity and diabetes are 2 life-altering diseases that are growing at an alarming rate. The public doesn't know what they're putting into their body, and some of them do not care. Agricultural literacy, as it pertains to food consumption and nutritional information, is imperative to improving our society's health. From a political standpoint, one major concern is how an uninformed general public can successfully elect legislators. If the public doesn't understand the basics of the agricultural industry, then how do they know the elected legislator is making good policy decisions about agricultural issues? Americans must have an understanding so they can make good decisions. I hope you enjoyed your supper tonight. Be sure to thank a farmer for their hard work that they dedicated for your meal. Just remember how everything ties back to the importance of agricultural literacy and educating the future agriculturalists of tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany. Our 8th female contestant from District 8 is Brittany Nicole Vandervoort from Jessamine County.
According to the Union of Concerned Scientists, the average American sees 6,000 advertisements every day. It's no wonder why the media, especially commercials, can leave such huge impressions on us. The media is a very powerful tool. It can have both positive and negative impacts on Kentucky agriculture. At its worst, the media can portray animal agriculture in a negative light. Organizations such as PETA and the HSUS fuel these attacks. They post videos of farmers abusing their animals, when in reality, their animals may be treated better than the farmers treat themselves. PETA and the HSUS over-exaggerate what really goes on. Their videos tug at the viewer's emotions, which causes them to turn their backs on production agriculture. It is our duty to continue our stand against these horrific attacks. We must continue to show the public why we do things the way they are done. People must realize that production agriculture and agriculture in general is the reason why everyone continues to survive. Agriculture is the heartbeat of the world. On the contrary, the media can be used as a positive reflection of agriculture. We've all seen those commercials, the one of that red, juicy tomato or that fresh, crisp head of lettuce, and at the end, the words, Kentucky Proud. Now, I don't know about you, but after seeing that, it makes me want to jump in my car and drive to the store to purchase that Kentucky Proud product. Kentucky has some of the best people ever, and when they're given an option to support their locally grown products, they turn out in droves. There's not a better feeling than knowing the product I'm purchasing is safe, fresh, healthy, and is locally grown. It feels great to support the local farmers that work so hard to feed this great state. Before I go tonight, I'm leaving you all with a challenge. I challenge you all to continue to support locally grown products by shopping at your farmer's market, at Kentucky Farm Bureau roadside stand, or even in the Kentucky Proud section of your local grocery. Furthermore, I continue to take your stand on those attacks and to continue to inform the public about the truth. Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany. Next, we have contestant number 9 from Clark County, Allison Page Ratliff.
Can you believe when farming first started, it consisted of an oxen, a horse for power, crude wooden plows, and a man to do all the seeding, plowing, and anything else that needed to be done? When you stop and think about how much agriculture technology has changed, it is unbelievable. When farming first started, it was usually for survival, feeding the family, or enough to make a profit. Just like today's farming, that is still the case. But it has become a bigger and better job opportunity, along with more advanced technology. Since 1948, the production of agriculture has increased roughly 80%. Out of all the farms, 18% are large, and they produce 83% of all of our farm products. Medium-sized farms are disappearing, while small farms are still being used for part-time farming, while the farmer usually has a job that is non-farm related. Farmers are using computer-aided chemical applications, growth hormones, drip irrigation, and computerized feeding, milking, and waste management systems on large farms to allow the maximum amount of growth and production. Some livestock producers are also using computer chips on large farms to help monitor the growth and production of the animals. The computer chips help to monitor and manage the milk production and health records. It allows a farmer to automatically weigh the cow and know how much feed the cow requires. We are fortunate that our own Kentucky Farm Bureau can place a strong focus on our state priority issues to allow agriculture technology to move forward so that our Kentucky farm and farmers can be more efficient, effective, and economical, improving the bottom line. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. Tonight's 10th female contestant is Katie Lynn Coldarn from Greenup County in District 10.
As a high school senior, deciding what to do with one's life is a major decision that requires much thought and planning and creates a great deal of stress. Trying to decide what society will need from your generation is almost like looking into a crystal ball. However, I believe you will quickly come to the conclusion that agriculture, an industry that most of you are very familiar with, has a very bright future. By 2030, it is estimated that the world population will grow to 8.2 billion. The key to providing for this huge growth lies in the quality and innovation of agriculture. In August, I attended a conference in Iowa where I met Secretary Tom Vilsack of the U.S. Department of Agriculture. He spoke on the tremendous growth in the ag industry in the last 5 years and on how rural communities influence our country. Only 16% of our nation's population live in rural areas, but they provide us all with food, fiber, fuel, water, and even men and women who serve in our military. In fact, 42% of our military come from rural communities. This could be because people in rural communities have such a strong value system. They know you have to give something back to the land for it to give back to you. You develop a concern for your fellow man and a strong work ethic. The same value system exists in agriculture and within Farm Bureau. I am proud to live on a small farm in rural eastern Kentucky, and I am glad to have that value system that comes from growing up in a rural community. The experiences I have had through Farm Bureau, 4-H, and school will help me to be successful in agriculture or whatever else my future holds.
Thank you, Katie. To round out tonight's female contestants, we have contestant number 11, Marissa Nicole Alley from Clay County in District 11.
Agriculture not only gives riches to a nation, but the only riches she can call her own. When Samuel Johnson famously voiced this, he knew that it would continue to hold true for America. But perhaps he wasn't aware that even centuries later, it would continue to speak volumes for even the most rural of communities. Southeastern Kentucky takes pride in its culture, and as of recently, a large part of it has gained national attention. Coal mining has been a Kentucky tradition for thousands of years. Our history revolves around the thousands of hardworking men and women who provided their families and this region itself with a financial safeguard and a promising future. Mountaintop removal has, however, become a largely debated political issue. Threats against our coal mining industry have sparked thousands to join fellow friends of coal in support of our way of life. But not only would the abolition of mountaintop removal negatively affect our economy, but it would also affect our agriculture, which encapsulates the spirit of Kentucky itself. It is a common misconception that land left over from mountaintop removal becomes desolate and lifeless. But this is not true. Coal mining companies must, by law, restore sites back to their original condition, and this is economical for a multitude of reasons. Reclamation technology is constantly growing and becoming more and more efficient at restoring sites back to their natural state. And this ultimately gives rise to new opportunities for agriculture, for farming or for livestock, and even for our own wildlife. Take, for example, Kentucky's largest elk herd, the largest free-roaming elk herd east of Montana and the 10th largest in the United States, lives on land reclaimed by coal companies. And our elk reintroduction program was so successful that Kentucky now assists other states in introducing their own elk herds. But Kentucky's culture is more than something to just be proud of. It's something to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Marissa. Now, ladies, you can sit back and relax. And now that your portion of the competition's over, and we're going to grill the guys for a while. Tonight's first male contestant is William Ellis Wood. William is from McCracken County in District 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Will Wood, and I'm a sixth-generation Kentucky farmer and a fourth-generation Farm Bureau member. I truly believe that agriculture must return to the forefront of discussion and decisions of all Americans. Our country is currently faced with economic decisions and difficulties that we have not experienced in several generations. There are several facts that face us in agriculture. Number one, people are living longer. Number two, the birth rate nearly doubles the death rate. And number three, agriculture cannot obtain new land. These are all facts that demand the American people to focus on agriculture and our future. In the year 2050, I'll be 53 years old. Between now and then, I, as well as the remainder of agriculture, must prepare for our population to reach nearly 450 million people. That is about 1.4 million more Americans than we have today. This extra 1.4 million Americans must be fed, clothed, housed, schooled, and have medical care. What a challenge with no new land. What will Kentucky look like? Will there be any room for agriculture? In the United States, we have long enjoyed obtaining our family's food supply for just 11% of our disposable income. To maintain this luxury, we must return to discussion focused to meeting the needs for a growing population for tomorrow. I am proud of my agricultural heritage in Kentucky and hope to raise the seventh generation in my family and with an eye on the future of agriculture.
Thank you, William. Next, we have Vaughn Thomas Reed from Eulenburg County in District 2.
As the prices of fuel, along with America's dependence on foreign oil, continues to rise, a consumer may ask, can America effectively use biofuels to a point to reduce this dependence? Ethanol, as in beer or wine, is an alcohol that has been modified to utilize as a fuel, making it undrinkable. It is made through a fermentation process similar to that of beer brewing, and it is created through using simple sugars and starches. However, new research is being made to see if we can make it out of cellulosic material, which is the bulk of most plant matter. Biodiesel, another biofuel, is a combination of alcohol and animal or vegetable oils and fats, which can also be just recycled cooking grease. The best part about biodiesel is that it can be put into any diesel engine today and run. There are many strengths to using biofuels. Some of these include that it creates less harmful emissions. It is a simple, sustainable, and grow your own fuel. It brings more money into the U.S. economy, and more importantly, more money to the United States farmers and Farm Bureau members alike, because we're bringing money into our country and our state. There are two main barriers, however, that prevent this widespread adoption of biofuels. These include that it produces less miles per gallon. On a tank of gasoline, you could travel 350 miles. On that same tank of ethanol, you can only drive 275 miles. The other barrier is that can American farmers produce enough crops in order to meet the demand for fuel? In conclusion, American farmers and researchers are working daily to learn more about biofuels so we can use them. I'd like to think that one day I could fill my truck up on a fuel that I've grown. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaughn. From Meade County in District 3, we have male contestant number 3, Brian Thomas Chisholm.
35,000 dots make up the surface of a basketball. Each one of those dots has something to do with agriculture. Tonight, I will speak to you tonight about how agriculture has impacted my life. My family owns a small farm where we raise hay and cattle. And I knew ever since the fall of my 4th grade year that I wanted to sign up to show pigs. And that's exactly what I did. I signed up in the fall, and when the spring rolled around, I bought my first set of pigs. Now, I would spend time every day feeding them, watering them, walking them, and even giving them a bath, believe it or not, so I could just get to know them. As the summer progressed, I had never looked forward to the Meade County Fair as much as I had that year. Now, when the fair got here, I showed my animals, And I didn't do that well, but I had a wonderful time doing it, and to me, that was all that mattered. I can now say that I've had 2 grand champion animals and 1 reserve grand champion animal at our county fair, and I've also had the opportunity to go all over the state of Kentucky showing livestock, and I've had a wonderful time doing it. The first year I had grand champion animal, I was approached by a friend and he said, "You should breed that animal." And I thought, "No way, Jose. I don't know a thing about breeding an animal or raising pigs." But I ended up doing it, and I successfully raised my first litter of pigs, and I've been doing it ever since. I can now say that I have raised nearly 50 head of pigs and sold them all over the state of Kentucky for the youth to show, and they've all been very successful. Now you're probably wondering, why would anybody want to raise pigs? They're nasty and they smell. Yes, they do, and Mom complains about it. But I enjoy it, and it gives me something to do, and it's also going to help pay for my college education, which I'll be starting in the fall of next year. As I leave you tonight, I ask you, how has agriculture impacted your life? Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Male contestant number 4 is Austin Wesley Cole from Warren County.
As a beef producer in today's society, we face many challenges that farmers 20 years ago faced, but we're now facing issues that might be worse than droughts and diseases. Organizations like HSUS and PETA are farmers' worst challenges in today's society. You wouldn't think that an anti-agriculture group could really hurt our industry, but in fact is, these groups are extremely smart and have many different tricks to harm our industry. As a beef producer, it is extremely important for us to go out and advocate for beef. So I'm going to explain to you 2 simple key points to remember when advocating for beef. The first is listen. This to me is probably the hardest thing to do. When somebody starts telling me that I'm wrong for raising and showing cattle, it's hard for me not just get mad and jump right down their throat assuming that they're wrong. But the fact is, you need to listen and hear their story first. And a key fact to remember is to listen for 70% and only talk for 30%. When they start fussing, just listen. Then ask them questions. Ask them why they feel this way. Then you can proceed and tell them a story about how it helps the animals. The second key point to remember is to tell your story. When talking to these people in these different groups, there's no better way of getting out our information than to tell your story. When you're telling it, don't be afraid to tell the whole truth. If the animal ends up dying at the end, say that, but make sure you emphasize the point that you did everything possible to help save that animal. As a young farmer still in high school or college, we know so many people. On a Monday morning, if somebody asks you what you did over the weekend, for example, say you work cows and vaccinated, then explain to them how it helps the animals. And I'm sure most of you, like me, have a Facebook account. This is another huge way to get our story out there. If you're about to go out and work with show heifers or help pull a calf, say it as your Facebook status. Let people know that you do everything possible to make sure that your animals are safe, healthy, and well taken care of. And with organizations like the Kentucky Farm Bureau advocating for beef, hopefully we'll be better able to educate these anti-agriculture groups. Thank you.
Thank you, Austin. Male contestant number 5 is Austin Tyler Jaggers, who is representing Spencer County in District 5.
When I was younger, there was nothing more exciting than spending a warm spring day at Churchill Downs. Hearing the famous call to the post, followed by the powerful sound of dozens of hooves colliding with the dirt on a race to victory, would send waves of euphoria rushing over me. While these feelings are still the same for me every time I see one of these magnificent creatures in action, Kentucky's horse racing industry is no longer what it used to be. Our unbridled spirit has fallen victim to economic downturn and overall lack of support. Ever since our economy took a turn for the worse, Kentucky has seen more and more abandoned horses and horse farms. Without a large local pull from Churchill Downs and other notable Kentucky horse parks, there is much less money to be made in the horse racing industry than there was 10 years ago. Nowadays, notable owners and trainers choose to take their business out of state in order to pursue larger purses that become available from on-site casino gambling. These other states have made the necessary choices in order to ensure economic resilience and overall good business. Have we? It is time for a change, Kentucky. It is time for us to make our own decisions to ensure that we keep this $4 billion industry growing strong. It is our duty and our obligation to ensure that our great Commonwealth remains the horse racing capital of the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Austin. Next, we have Ryan Christopher Halligan from Franklin County in District 6.
Agriculture. What comes to mind when you hear the word agriculture? Is it farming, ranching, cowboys, or does it mean technology, researching new ideas, or an influential role within the world's growth? This question is being asked by many in the United States. However, there are some that ask this question with the intent to harm agriculture. In response to these groups, we all, as agriculturalists, need to be a positive voice in our world today to show exactly what agriculture is all about. To most effectively represent agriculture, we must tell our story of how we got involved, whether we have family farming operations or became involved in school. That's exactly what I love about agriculture. It's an extremely diverse occupation and industry, and there's something in it for everyone. Too many times do I hear of teenagers describing agriculture as farming, yet less than 2% of today's population are farmers, but 20% of American jobs today involve agriculture. Obviously, there's a lot more to agriculture than just cows and plows, yet anti-agricultural groups are still promoting anything to encourage this stereotype. In today's society, agriculture needs groups such as the Farm Bureau to stand up to these radical fundamentalists and show them that agriculture is necessary for productive society. Thanks to the Farm Bureau, there's an agriculturalist organization in every single Kentucky county, and there are Farm Bureau members who are constantly fighting to protect our agricultural values and traditions. Thanks to the Farm Bureau, there are Farm Bureau members who are showing our lawmakers and officials that we care about agriculture and it plays a pivotal role within our society. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. We will now move on to male contestant number 7, Christopher Logan Hooten from Casey County in District 7.
I believe in the future of agriculture, with a faith born not of words, but of deeds. Achievements won by the present and past generations of agriculturalists, and the promise of better days through better ways, even as the better things we now enjoy come to us from the struggles of former years. This paragraph, as well as the other 4 paragraphs of the FFA Creed, are drilled in the minds of every young greenhand upon arrival into our organization. They're taught to memorize it word for word. However, my question is, how many of them actually attempt to interpret the meaning? If you were to ask me to decipher the meaning of this masterpiece written by Mr. E.M. Tiffany, I would emphasize that the ability to go to the nearest grocery store and buy all the food and drink our families need has been given to us by the never-ending struggles of American agriculturalists. The same agriculturalists who face constant ridicule from environmentalists and certain organizations determined to break their spirits. And the same agriculturalists who humbly provide food for millions. To the dairy farmer who wakes up at 4 every morning, every day of the week, to milk his herd with care, yet is still able to torture her by various animal rights organizations, but still gets up at 4 that very next morning. To the mother of 3 young children who wakes up at 4 every morning, not to milk her herd, but to travel to her employer, the milk pasteurization plant, which produces the finished product we all drink each morning. To the farmers who fought for independence against England and gave birth to this great nation. To the agri-soldiers helping rebuild Middle Eastern countries devastated by war, famine, and drought, teaching them sustainable agriculture, making this world we live in a better one. American agriculturalists have fought long and hard against Mother Nature as well as human nature to develop this nation, the United States of America, into the #1 nation in the world. And that's what makes me believe in the future of agriculture.
Thank you, Christopher. Next, we have Brian Douglas Ray representing Boyle County in District 8.
I'd like for you to close your eyes for just a second and picture yourself as a freshman in high school. If you were like me, you didn't know what you wanted to do with the rest of your life, let alone what you wanted to do in high school. All right, you can open your eyes. I'm going to tell you a story about a friend of mine who was in the same position we were his freshman year. That year, he decided to join FFA, where he did as many of the fun activities that he could, which actually set him up for his sophomore year, where he decided to start competing, and he actually did pretty well. Near the end of that year, he was able to gain the treasurer's position, which allowed him to go to camp, where he learned a lot of great leadership skills and a lot about himself. However, his junior year was probably the most important overall, because he learned about all the work that went in all the fun activities he had enjoyed so much, as well as the need for community service before you even think about doing those fun activities. Ironically enough, he got the treasurer's position again that year and was able to go back to camp, and his summer concluded in one of the most life-changing events he had ever had in the Washington Leadership Conference, where again, he learned to serve others before himself. The summer was also important for him for another reason, because he got a job on a local farm where he learned about all the inner workings and the hard work that goes on a day-to-day farm. If you haven't guessed, my friend is actually me. In my time in FFA, I've learned that you need to serve others before you think about having fun yourself. There is a lot of work that goes into all the fun activities that you enjoy, and that there is an extreme amount of hard work that goes on every single farm out there. And I can now stand before you today and say that I am a confident agriculturalist who knows what he wants to do with his life. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Male contestant number 9 is Stephen Fink from Clark County, representing District 9.
Have you ever been to a Kentucky roadside farm market? You have probably purchased farm fresh produce, meats, plants, and other products from one of the many certified Kentucky Farm Bureau roadside farm markets. The program began in 1996 to help farmers market their produce directly from the roadsides at their farms to consumers across the bluegrass. Once farmers become members, they are identified with the program's cornucopia logo, provided collective advertising, promotional items, educational tour opportunities, and other benefits with the goal to increase the farm's income. Consumers can easily find a close local market on the Kentucky Farm Bureau directory map. The map makes searches easy with color-coded regions and detailed information about each farm. This includes contact info, directions, and products they offer. Program members have the opportunity to attend the Kentucky Farm Bureau annual multi-state roadside farm market tour. This is a great way for farm market owners to meet other business owners and learn about other businesses and products, all while traveling on a tour bus. The certified program has grown to include Christmas tree farms, wineries, greenhouses, fiber markets, and livestock operations. I think the program has successfully completed its goal by helping the farmer offer a better farm experience to the consumer. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Next, from Pike County in District 10 is Dakota Lester.
Hello, everyone. I would like to open by thanking you for your loyalty and dedication to the Kentucky Farm Bureau and the farmers across the nation. Recently, I watched a documentary on the History Channel, which opened with a little-known fact. The hunter-gatherer needs over 10 square miles in order to sustain life, whereas the farmer only needs a 100th of this area in order to harvest his crop and thrive. And then it came to me. This statistic has immense factual value for my generation, which has mostly lost touch with agriculture. The lack of an ag-supporting curriculum in many of America's school systems is something I feel must change. For instance, my school doesn't offer an agricultural education program or an FFA chapter. I never really knew how much agriculture affected my everyday life. It clothes us, feeds us, gives us jobs, and most importantly, stabilizes the economy. I, and students like myself, have all been deprived of agricultural education, things that this country was built upon. My ancestors depended completely upon the skill of farming for the means to adapt to and maintain their newfound lifestyle. Now, we have cast off the perfect life of simplicity for a stressful and unhealthy existence. If America has any chance at a long and prosperous future, we must expand agriculture to every corner of our society. I applaud you, Kentucky Farm Bureau, for conveying the necessity of agricultural education to my generation. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Dakota. And tonight's final male contestant is Jeremy Wayne Ball from Clay County in District 11.
Let's go back in time. Let's travel to a simpler period, one where our nation was just beginning. It was a time when family values were omnipotent, and if you chose not to eat what your family grew, you didn't eat. It becomes obvious when one considers our nation's history that agriculture has by far been one of the most influential aspects of all time. But just how impactful has it been to us? The answer to this question cannot be answered vaguely, because in reality, farming is who we are. Kentucky was shaped on the backs of farmers whose entire lives were dedicated to the drive and determination that it resonates. And because of this, it prospered. But in order for something to thrive and prosper, it must first be incepted. In the creation of the state we know and love today, not only adhered to the farming philosophy, but carried it from generation to generation. If you think of your parents or grandparents, chances are you'll find farming on their resume, and people tend to resemble their families in numerous ways. Considering this, is it not inferable that people garner part of their identity from the sweat off the brow of their family's history? While they may not farm themselves, it's embedded in their identity and forever a part of future generations. But what resonates to Kentucky farmers today? The Kentucky Farm Bureau encapsulates the drive and determination of Kentucky farmers and allows this grand profession to continue without the stress and worries of today's society. So look around at your fellow Kentuckians and gaze at the beauty that is our state, but never forget where it came from. Our ancestors cultivated this land for us to thrive today, and we are who we are because of them. We cannot let our history dissolve from reality because Kentucky farming is who we are.
Thank you, Jeremy. Congratulations to each of our contestants for these remarkable speeches we've heard tonight. I think everyone will agree that we have just heard from some excellent spokespersons for Farm Bureau and for agriculture. You know, we've heard some references tonight to the FFA, and as does the FFA, Farm Bureau also believes in the future of agriculture. And ladies and gentlemen, I believe we're seeing the best of the future of agriculture on our stage here tonight. Let's give them another round of applause. While the OFBY score sheets are being tallied, I'll ask the contestants to please exit the stage, and we'll turn the program back over to Mr. Haney for some award presentations.
The Outstanding Youth Contest, and once again, I'm going to call Vicki Bryant back to the podium.
This certainly is an evening for recognizing the achievements of many Farm Bureau members from across our state. Our OFBY Tally Committee should have the judges' decisions for our outstanding Farm Bureau Youth State winners in just a few minutes, and while they are finishing on their task, I will ask the contestants to please come back on stage, and we're going to let them introduce themselves and tell us about some of the extracurricular activities that they are involved in. And so we're ready for you all to come back up on stage one at a time. Would contestant number 1 please come to the microphone?
Hi there. My name is Brittany Osborne, and my parents are Glenn and Kathy Osborne. I'm representing District 1 tonight from McCracken County, And my extracurricular activities include 4-H. I'm heavily involved in 4-H. I was chosen to represent District 7 as our state team council member. So that's been a big honor for me. I'm also the president of FBLA and 4-H at my school, and I'm involved in the Beta Club. I also play varsity soccer, and I run track and field. And I would just want to thank you tonight for letting me be here.
My name is Will Wood. Member of the International Borgo Association. I'm the vice president of that, the Juniors Association. I'm the vice president of the chapter. My dad's Michael Wood and my mom's Stephanie Wood, and that's about it.
Hi, my name's Jacy Gill. My parents are James and Wendy Gill, and I'm representing District 2. Some extracurricular activities I'm involved in is I'm very dedicated to my FFA chapter, and this year I'm serving as their treasurer.
Hello, I'm Von Reed, and I'm proudly representing District 2 and Muhlenberg County. I'm here with my parents, Debbie and Steve Reed, and also with Mary Kate and Joe Cords from the Muhlenberg County Farm Bureau Association. I am a senior at Muhlenberg County High School. I'm president of our chapter, and I'm also a regional chaplain of our Pennyroyal Region FFA. And I'm heavily active in FFA, 4-H, and my local church, Cave Springs Missionary Baptist Church.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Chelsea Doherty, representing District 3 and Butler County, where I reside with my parents, Patrick and Leanne Doherty. I'm currently a student at Murray State University, where I enjoy being a member of the MSU Block and Bridle Club and Collegiate FFA. I'm also currently serving as the Kentucky State FFA Vice President.
Good evening. My name is Brian Chisholm, and I'm proudly representing Meade County District 3, and I'm actively involved in Meade County FFA, where I serve as chapter president and the Lincoln Trail Regional Secretary, and I'm also actively involved in our high school yearbook, and I'm here tonight with my parents, Herbie and Nina Chisholm, and my uncle, Tommy Hobbs, and Janet and Jim Scott also.
Good evening. My name is Stephanie Mattingly. I'm here tonight with my parents, Richard and Sharon Mattingly. I'm currently a student at Barron County High School. I'm a future student of the University of Kentucky. I'm also involved with my FFA chapter. I'm currently serving as the president of my local FFA chapter and the treasurer of my regional FFA chapter. I show purebred Simmental cattle with my family, and I'm also a dancer. I've been dancing for 13 years, and this year I've also become a dance teacher.
Hi, my name is Austin Cole. My parents are Don and Katina Cole. I'm a senior at Warren Central High School in Bowling Green, and I show Angus and Hereford cattle.
Hello, my name is Emily Jury. I'm from Anderson County in the 5th District. I'm here tonight with my parents, Jeff and Nicole Jury. I would like to thank the Anderson County and 5th District Farm Bureau for providing me with this opportunity. I am a 4-year member of the Anderson County FFA. This is my 2nd year serving as chapter president, and I also serve as the vice president of the Bluegrass region. I also barrel race and serve as the state youth director for the Kentucky International Barrel Racing Association. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Austin Jaggers, proudly representing Spencer County and the District 5 of the Farm Bureau. I am active in FFA. I'm currently serving as the Northern Kentucky Regional President, and this past October I was a member of the national winning dairy judging team. In addition to this, I'm also Secretary of our school's National Honor Society and Treasurer of my senior class. I'm joined tonight by my parents, Jonathan and Laurie Jaggers, my grandparents, Donald and Judy May, and my FFA advisor, Daryl Matherly. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mary Elizabeth Wood. I'm here with my parents, Jim and Lisa Wood, and I'm representing Franklin County from District 6. I am Vice President of our chapter's FFA, and I was recently given the honor of being inducted into National Honor Society. I'm a member of other clubs, including Young Politicians, Beta Club, which will be here next weekend, Y Club, among many others.
Hello, my name is Ryan Halligan. I'm from Franklin County, representing District 6. I'm here with my mother, Pam Carell, and I'm a senior at Franklin County High School. Some of my extracurricular activities involve 4-H. I'm, like Brittany, on the State 4-H Teen Council. I am also on my District 4 Teen Council and have previously served as president of my county. I'm also involved with FFA. I'm currently my school's FFA president, as well as a Bluegrass Region FFA secretary. Also involved in showing 2 species of livestock and swimming. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Brittany Gaddis. I'm representing District 7 from Taylor County. My parents are Gary Gaddis and Michelle and Steve Sapp. I currently serve as my local FFA's chapter president, and I serve as the Lake Cumberland Region reporter. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Logan Hooten. I am from the Casey County Farm Bureau, District 7. I'm represented tonight by my 3 biggest fans, my mother, my father, and my FFA advisor. Some of my extracurricular activities are FFA, where I'm president of my chapter, vice president of my Lake Cumberland region. I'm also publicity chair of my Y Club, as well as FBLA and various other clubs in my school. Thank you.
Brittany Vandervoort from Jessamine County, representing District 8. My parents are Amy and Eric Grease, but unfortunately my dad had shoulder replacement surgery on Tuesday and could not be here, so my mom was taking care of him, but my advisor, Ms. Jennings, came. My extracurricular activities, I'm vice president of our FFA chapter. I'm a student ambassador at our local school, and then I'm also a student ambassador at our Career and Technology Center, and I will be a student at Murray State University next year studying pre-veterinary medicine.
My name is Brian Ray. I'm from Boyle County, from District 8. My parents are Lynn McMain and Doug Ray. And some activities I do, I play varsity tennis, and I plan on playing in college, and I'm also the treasurer for the past 2 years of my chapter.
Hello, my name is Allison Ratliff, and my parents are Lynn and Keith Ratliff. I'm here from Clark County, where I'm representing District 9. I'm an active member in FFA, where I'm the reporter, Beta Club, where I'm the treasurer, FBLA, and I'm on Cardinal Hill Teen Board. I play golf, and I'm on the tennis team. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Stephen Fink, and I'm from Clark County, and I'm here with my parents, Andre and Betsy Fink, and also the Clark County Farm Bureau President, Shane Wiseman, and his wife, Stephanie, and the agent, Rick Mink. I'm involved in FFA, where I serve as the Clark County President and Bluegrass Region Reporter. I'm also involved in 4-H and show sheep and goats.
I'm Katie Coldiron. I'm from Greenup County, and I'm currently a senior at Greenup County High School. I am involved with FBLA, where my chapter's parliamentarian, Key Club, where I am my chapter's secretary, and Girl Scouts, 4-H, and editor of my school's yearbook, and I also run cross country and track.
Hello, my name is Dakota Lester. I'm here with my mother, Cindy Lester, and my father, Jerry Lester, tonight. I'm from Pike County representing District 10. I recently became an Eagle Scout in the Boy Scouts of America. I'm the president of the Pike County Youth Leadership Council, a local community service organization, and also I'm the vice president of my National Honor Society, among various other clubs in my school. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Marissa Alley. I'm representing District 11. I'm from Clay County, Manchester. Things I'm involved with at my school include our Student Y Club, where I am the service chair. I'm participating in the Kentucky Youth Assembly. Actually, I'm leaving on Sunday, and I'll be here in Louisville again. I am the secretary in our Beta Club, which will actually be again here in Louisville at the Galt House next weekend. And I'm also on the art crew. I'm on my academic team since the 4th grade, and I'm also in yearbook. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jeremy Ball, representing District 11 from Clay County. I'm here with my parents, Tim and Tamron Ball, and I participate in the Y Club, where I'm the vice president, where we're going to be going to KY Sunday, where I'm running for governor. Beta Club, which will be here again next week, where I'm the service chair, debate team, yearbook, and also do football and track. Thank you.
These contestants' families must be so proud of all these young people. I can't imagine at their age, I can't imagine at my age, putting together a speech and delivering it like they have done here tonight. Our judges for this competition all have extensive experience in youth programs and education, and we're very fortunate to have their expertise for this event. Ms. Katie Ellis is the Program and Administrative Coordinator for the Foundation for a Healthy Kentucky. Ms. Lauren Omer is the Ohio Valley Area Extension Specialist for the Kentucky Farm Business Management Program. She is also a former contestant in the State Outstanding Farm Bureau Youth Contest. Mr. Brandon Wilson is an agricultural educator lecturer for the Murray State University Hudson School of Agriculture. All three judges are truly committed to agriculture and understand the value of leadership development. Thanks to each of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to support this youth development activity. I now have the contest results, so at this point I will ask our sponsors to come to the upper stage for the awards presentations, and while they are making their way on stage, I want to say a very special thank you to AT&T for their generous support of this year's Outstanding Farm Bureau Youth Contest. Tonight, we are pleased to have with us Amy Scarborough, AT&T's Executive Director of Legislative and External Affairs, to help present our awards. Let's give AT&T a hand for their financial contribution. Each contestant here tonight will be presented a check in the amount of $100, and each contestant will also receive a piece of the great luggage that you see on stage here this evening. So thanks to AT&T and Kentucky Farm Bureau Federation. And now for the 2012 Outstanding Farm Bureau State winners. The first award of $100 presented by Phyllis Amix, State Women's Advisory Committee Chair, goes to the congeniality winners who were chosen by the contestants earlier this afternoon. Our male congeniality winner is Ryan Halligan from Franklin County in District 6. Our female congeniality winner is Emily Drury from Anderson County in District 5. Our runners-ups tonight, I don't know if that's runners-up or runner-ups, I don't know, but anyway, they will receive $200 and a Nikon digital camera prize pack made possible by AT&T. David Beck, Executive Vice President of the Federation, and Amy Scarborough will make this presentation. Our male OFBY runner-up is Brian Chisholm from Meade County in District 3. Our female OFBY runner-up is Chelsea Daugherty from Butler County in District 3. Joan Allen Corbin, I'll ask you now to please come forward to assist with the winner's presentation. The 2011 Outstanding Farm Bureau Youth State winners received the following from Kentucky Farm Bureau Federation and in part by AT&T: a $2,000 scholarship, an opportunity to participate in the 2011 Congressional Tour and Kentucky Farm Bureau Day at the State Fair, a wristwatch, and an additional piece of luggage. Mr. Beck and Amy Scarborough will present these awards. Our 2011 male OFBY winner is Austin Cole from Warren County in District 4. Our 2011 female OFBY winner is Emily Drury from Anderson County in District 5. The winners and all contestants deserve our congratulations for their work prior to this competition. Let's give them a round of applause, definitely. They gave us a great performance here tonight. We request contestants that you remain on stage for pictures and that all of you pick up your luggage as you leave the stage. Thanks to all Kentucky Farm Bureau members who support our youth programs throughout the year. And once again, let's thank AT&T for their partnership.